Hi, this is Sarah Vella with StartupLUCKY.com. It is Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, pretty much the wrap-up day for South by Southwest 2009 Interactive. And I'm sitting here today with Josh Baer. Joshua Baer is of Other Inbox, and he's an Austinite. And say hello.
Hi, everybody.
We'll show the logo.
Other Inbox.
Very nice.
It's OIB.com.
OIB.com. So I was telling you before we started talking, this is my first interview in the series with somebody whose startup I'm actually a user of. It's my disclaimer. I've been a user of your service since its inception, since you launched the beta, and I now use the Google Gmail interface also. So for people who don't know what it is and what it's about, please explain.
Sure. Well, Other Inbox is for anybody who gets too much email, seems to be more and more people. And basically what it does is it automatically finds all the messages in your inbox that aren't from real people, and it takes them out and organizes them off on the side. And that's really helpful for two reasons. One, your inbox just instantly gets smaller, and it's easier to focus on the important things, which generally are the emails from real people that you might need to see right away or respond to. And yet, when you do have time to go look through all those other automated messages like receipts, shipping notices, social networking notifications from Twitter and Facebook, things like that, they're all pre-sorted and organized for you so that it's a lot faster to go and look through them and to deal with them in batches instead of one at a time. So it saves you time in your day-to-day stuff because your inbox is easier to do. And it also, when you do have time to look through these lower priority messages, makes it a lot faster.
Cool. I was actually describing the service because I was telling my friend Dan, who was here earlier, about it, and that he might make some use out of it. And he was curious to know, and I'm curious to know if in the future you're planning on allowing for some adjustments to it in terms of like keywords, for example. So I might want certain things from, say, Amazon, like shipping information, to come to my inbox, and other things to go to my Amazon Other Inbox. Do you have a way to do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, the first step there would be your traditional filters, letting you go in and, for example, say, hey, if this message has come into my Amazon mailbox and the subject is shipping notice, then forward them to my inbox. And that's a pretty straightforward thing to do. And yet at the same time, what we're more excited about than that is leveraging some of the artificial intelligence we've been developing that automatically classifies and categorizes the messages. So what we have working in production but not visible to our users yet is all the messages are being automatically categorized using Bayesian filters. But the Bayesian filters don't try to say if it's spam or not. They actually detect, oh, is this a receipt or not? Is that a shipping notice or not? Is this an alert that I might need to see? Is it a newsletter? And that's going to allow you to then create rules that make a lot more sense, that say, hey, if it's a shipping notice, forward it to me. If it's a newsletter, organize it off on the side. If it's a receipt, save it and file it for later and I don't have to look at it. And letting you talk about them in terms of what it is and not getting into the gory details of what the header or the subject is, which I think less people want to deal with.
Very cool. I noticed today you sent out a tweet mentioning that everything's in the cloud for Other Inbox. You don't have a designated server. You're using the Amazon resource. I'm wondering if there are any concerns among your users about privacy, and also as that relates to Gmail integration. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel, especially as a startup, that we are much safer and more secure having our servers hosted and our data hosted in the cloud than if it was running in a data center that was in our office or in even a local, data center here in town. Both from a perspective of it's in the hands of Amazon, and obviously a very successful, mature internet business that knows how to keep these things running very well and that has extremely high security of their own. And also because in the case of a small startup or other things like that, you've just got generally more people that have access to the hardware, more people that have the keys to the kingdom than in the case when it's in the cloud. So I feel like because of putting it in the cloud, we're able to leverage all the security and infrastructure of these bigger companies, which is a lot safer and more reliable than something I could afford to build as a startup. Gotcha. And in the end, there are less people in my company that have access to this important data than more. And for me, it really feels a lot safer. That said, I should point out that we do some things a little bit differently because we're in the cloud. So we're very aware of where the data is, and when we make a copy of data, where we're putting it, and if we turn off a server, making sure that that data has been cleaned off. And so, I think in general, it's much more secure, and we do some other little tweaks and extra things to make sure that it stays very secure in the cloud.
Cool. So just to wrap up, how are you enjoying South by this year? How is it compared for you to other years? And what are your basic thoughts?
I love South by Southwest. I get to go to a lot of different types of trade shows and events, and I find that this one for me is just one of the most real. It's growing every year, and there's a lot of sponsors, but yet the content really is driven by the community, and it doesn't feel overly kind of salesy or promotional. And there's just a lot of great, creative, smart people here to interact and to meet with, and I just love that. I think it's really one of the best, for me, one of the best shows that I get to go to. I'm a little disappointed this year because in the past, I get to do it more. I get to go to the conferences and sit in the panels and participate in those things more, whereas this year we've been so focused on promoting other inbox and getting the word out that I've been spending a lot of time at the trade show booth talking to users and also talking to people like you and other things like that. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, but it's a great show, and this has been a fantastic event for us.
All right, well, good luck to you, good luck to Other Inbox, oib.com, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Awesome, thanks.
Bye.